story continues in Kano, a northern city where ancient walls guard bustling markets filled with the aroma of kilishi and the rhythmic calls to prayer from minarets blend with church bells. Azuka arrived, her appearance transformed by the Queen Mother's dark art to resemble a pious woman from Borno State, veiled in a flowing hijab, her face sauced with faint humility, but her eyes glinting with a serpent's cunning. She entered Divine Shield Assembly, a steady brick church in the Sabongari district, where ceiling fans were reduced the dry heat. Prayer mats lined the floor for intercession, and a wooden pulpit stood adorned with Hausa proverbs carved into Bible verses. Posing as a prayer warrior, she approached the elders during a midweek service, her voice trembling with false zeal. "God sent me to intercede for this house." Her fervent prayers, shouted in tongues under the church's tin roof, impressed everyone, and they welcomed her to the intercession team without question. Her presence was like a spell. At night vigils, her chants rose above the congregations, her hands raised as if touching heaven, but death followed her like a shadow. A young usher named Yusuf, a student with dreams of becoming a lawyer, approached her after a prayer chain, his eyes drawn to her graceful movements. "Your prayers move mountains, sister," he said, offering to walk her home. She smiled, and that night in a quiet alley near the church, he crossed a line, succumbing to her charm. By morning, he was found dead in his hostel. Sudden stroke, they report. Then an elder, Alhaji Danladi, a retired teacher, sought her counsel after his service, his compliments turning bold. He met her in secret behind the church's water tank, and days later he collapsed in his compound. Natural causes, the verdict. The congregation, shaking, held emergency fast, their prayers echoing through the open windows, sensing a spiritual attack, but Azuka's loud intercessions kept her above suspicion. How could such a holy woman be the cause? Her true target was Pastor Suleiman Abubakar, a Hausa man in his early 50s, whose thundering prayers drew hundreds to Divine Shield. Married to Aisha, a veiled woman who taught the youth and raised their 5 children, he was a pillar of faith, but he carried a hidden flaw, a history of youthful indiscretions that lingered in his thoughts, fought daily with fasting. Azuka integrated deeply, leading small prayer groups in the church's inner sanctuary, a room lined with prayer cloths and scented with incense. "Pastor, let's pray for revival," she urged, her voice soft but piercing. Aisha noticed his distraction during dinner as they shared tuwo shinkafa and miankuka in their modest home near Kano's old city. Suleiman, that new prayer warrior, her eyes lingered too long. "Lust can creep in like a thief," she warned, her voice steady but urgent. He smiled, touching her hand. "Aisha, my faith is my ammo. No evil can touch me." But was he as strong as he believed? The seduction unfolded over weeks. Azuka organized chain prayers, standing close to Suleiman, her chants blending with his in a hypnotic rhythm. At night, she sent dreams laced with her image, twisting scriptures into seductive whispers. Aisha's warnings grew sharper. "Suleiman, guard your heart." He dismissed her, blinded by pride. The trap closed during a midnight vigil in the sanctuary, just the two of them, candles casting long shadows on the walls. Azuka's them slipped slightly, revealing smooth skin. "Pastor, let's pray for your strength," she murmured, her hand grazing his shoulder. He recited verses, but her touch ignited old desires. Lust overpowered him. They defiled the sacred space, the air thick with betrayal. Morning brought shame, but a fever struck him, relentless, burning, with no cause. Doctors were baffled. The church's prayers grew desperate. In a hospital ward surrounded by sobbing congregants, Suleiman whispered to Aisha, "Forgive me, lust was my undoing." Divine Shield fractured, members scattering in grief. Azuka vanished, her face morphing again, bound for Enugu. The Queen Mother's voice echoed, "The next will test you." What darkness awaited? To be continued.